Councillors and colleagues, thank you. My representation is on behalf of Musicians Union members who busk, and I'd like to thank you for your time this evening. I want to speak specifically to the proposed street entertainment policy that's under review at the moment. Firstly, with reference to perceptions of noise levels, nuisance and crime levels. Camden is an especially noisy and busy area of London, and the MU and its members do not believe that buskers and other street entertainers are a major factor in the high levels of ambient noise in the borough. There is already legislation in place that deals with nuisance effectively. Buskers and street entertainers should not be seen as likely to cause nuisance or any kind of increase of street crime. In terms of confiscation of instruments, we believe that any reference to confiscation of instruments should be removed from the policy straight away. Instruments are valuable to our members and are the tools of their trade, not to mention in some cases extremely expensive. We feel that it's a disproportionately harsh penalty. In terms of standard licences being only available to solo or duo performers, we can't see a reason for the limit on the number of performers to be imposed, and if the concern is again about noise, how would that apply to a string quartet? With reference to types of instrument and amplification, we understand that Camden Council and its residents has concern over the use of drums, amplifiers and instruments that are considered to be loud, but we don't feel that there should be a restriction on the type of instruments our members can play when busking, and we would welcome a further discussion on how this could be better approached. We feel that amplification should be permissible in certain circumstances. In terms of the fee charged to standard and special licences, we do not agree that there should be any fee imposed on an application for a licence for a busker. We feel that any charge against the musicians will be an equivalent to a tax against their ability to earn. And on the Local Authorities Act 2000, which sits behind the proposed policy, we'd like to raise our concerns about the appropriateness of this legislation being applied to support that policy. As mentioned in our submission to the consultation, the Musicians Union believes that busking in Camden does not need to be licensed in the way that Camden Council is proposing. We are concerned that the application of this legislation is onerous and prohibitive for buskers. We have a number of examples where Musicians Union and local authorities have worked together to achieve a best practice approach to street entertainment based on the principles of common sense, being sensitive to the environment they're working in, and professional behaviour. We would like to reach a similar understanding with the Council, perhaps developing the Code of Conduct as an alternative to this legislation. I also referred to you in our submission to the Liverpool Code of Practice, which operates a similarly sensible approach. And just finally, provided I have some more time, I'd like to refer you back to the Live Music Act 2003. The MU wrote to chiefs of police across the country to ask whether they considered live music to be linked to an increase in crime and disorder, and the vast majority of those responses that we received supported our view that the performance of live music itself has no effect on crime and disorder, and that any problems experienced are due to the size of the crowd at festivals, for example, and the dispersal of people at the end of an event. Finally, I'd like to say we'd be happy to provide copies of the letters that we received from chiefs of police if anyone wishes to view them. Thank you.